Your cutting just arrived from Mountain Moon Apothecary. Now what? Maybe it looks perfect. Maybe it looks a little tired. Maybe it looks like it just spent several days traveling across the country in a dark box with complete strangers. Today I'm going to show you exactly what to do when your cutting arrives and how to handle shipping stress in 3 different ways to root your new plant. Let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is when you open your package and inspect your cutting. Remember, plants don't particularly enjoy shipping. They don't get tiny airline pretzels. They don't get a complimentary beverage. And they definitely don't get extra legroom. A little shipping stress is completely normal. What we're looking for is a healthy stem, healthy growing points, and a cutting that still has plenty of life in it. If a few leaves are damaged, don't panic. The stem is what matters the most. Plants can replace leaves. Plants are surprisingly good at being plants. Now, before we start rooting, let me tell you a little bit about my background. I've been propagating and growing plants for a very long time. More than 25 years ago, I lived in a townhouse. Most people would have used their dining room for a dining table. I looked at that room and thought, you know what this space needs? More plants. So instead of a dining room, I had a hydroponics room. I grew herbs. I grew climbing roses. I grew anything I could convince to grow under lights. And over the years that I've grown plants in soil, hydroponic systems, containers, raised beds, and now here on our mountain homestead in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. And all those years have taught me something important. Plants want to grow. Our job is simply to give them the opportunity. So if this is your first cutting, don't be intimidated. You've got this. Before rooting, take a look at the cut end of your stem. If it appears dried from shipping, I like to make a fresh cut just below a leaf node at a 45-degree angle. A fresh cut gives the plant a new starting point for root development. You can also use rooting hormone if you like. This is the brand that I use. Many herbs will root perfectly well without it, but rooting hormone can speed things up and improve success rates. Think of it as a little encouragement. Not required, but appreciated. The easiest rooting method is plain and simple water. Simply place the cutting into a clean glass of water. Make sure at least one node is below the water line. Keep the leaves above the water. Place it in bright indirect light. Change the water every few days. Then let nature do what nature does. Some cuttings root quickly. Some take a little longer. Plants don't own calendars. Every cutting we ship includes a propagation Rockwool cube. This is one of my favorite methods. Simply soak the cube thoroughly in water, and I'm going to use my stem and the rooting hormone. Insert the cutting into the hole. Place the cube in a tray or container and keep it moist, but not submerged. Rockwool provides an excellent balance of moisture and oxygen around the developing roots. Many gardeners have fantastic success using this method. You can also combine the Rockwool cube with potting soil, and this is actually one of my favorite methods. So I'm going to dip the stem, insert the cutting into the soaked Rockwool cube, then place it, the entire cube, into a small pot filled with quality potting mix. Keep everything evenly moist. One of the biggest advantages of using the Rockwool cube in soil is moisture management. A freshly planted cutting has no roots yet, so it can't officially pull water from the surrounding soil. The Rockwool acts like a moisture reservoir around the stem, helping maintain consistent humidity and moisture exactly where the new roots are forming. Even if the surrounding potting soil dries a little faster, the cutting still has a moist environment right around the stem. This can be especially helpful for cuttings that have experienced a little shipping stress and need a little extra support while they're getting established. As roots develop, they'll grow through the Rockwool and into the surrounding soil, creating a strong, healthy root system. And in many cases, this method can provide more consistent results than simply placing a cutting directly into the potting soil by itself. Think of the Rockwool cube as a tiny life support system for your cutting while it figures out how to grow roots. And this is exactly why we include a complimentary Rockwool cube with every cutting that we ship. If you've ordered a cutting from us, don't worry if it looks a little tired after its journey. Plants experience travel fatigue too. Give it water, give it appropriate light, give it a little patience. Many cuttings perk up dramatically within 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes they just need a moment to remember they aren't still riding around in a mail truck. So how do you know things are working? Look for firm stems, healthy growing tips, new leaves, and eventually roots. Lots of beautiful roots. Those are all signs your cutting is settling in and preparing for its next stage of growth. One of the things I love most about gardening is that every mature plant starts somewhere. A seed, a cutting, a tiny beginning. Today, you're starting that journey with your own cutting. Whether you're rooting in water, rockwool, or soil, you're participating in one of the most rewarding parts of gardening. Watching new roots appear never gets old. Thank you for supporting Mountain Moon Apothecary. Welcome to the garden. And if you've ordered a cutting from us, we're honored to be a part of your growing journey. Be sure to check the links in the description for our Mountain Moon Apothecary playlist, propagation resources, additional growing guides, and our current herb collections available through our shop. Whether you're growing your first herb or your 50th, we're glad you're here. From our mountain to yours. And we'll see you in the next video, my friends.